Hello and welcome to the Studio Brutal video. This is a real quick one just to talk you through how I made this electro beat. This one you can hear in the background. It's really glitchy and generative, and it's generating its own patterns with a little bit of randomness and loads of modulation. I'm going to talk you through how I do it, but first of all, the file for this I'm giving it away for free. You can go and get that in the description below, so go and get that and then follow along, and please, when you're there, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. So yeah, let's get into it. Basically I made this one first off. This is the same beat as that, just with some added stuff. So first of all, it's a real simple electro beat. I've set up a kick, snare, those hats, and that. Okay, and I've put it in a drum rack, just those four, with the new sequencer, the Rhythmic Steps sequencer, and you can see the pattern I've drawn in. The kick's the bottom one, then the snare, then the hats. It's a really good sequencer, this, because it has random. So if I draw that, you can hear them in. You can hear them added. But if I do it like halfway, then it just gives it a 50% chance, and you can do like varying chances of it hitting, which means you get a lot of randomness, but you also say exactly where it's going to hit. So you add a lot of randomness, but at the same time you say exactly where the drums are going to hit, and the ones which are definitely going to be happening, because you've got full bars, and we're going to use that later on. It's a really good feature. So yeah, first of all, what I've done is I've set up this drum rack and just pulled in these 4 808 samples, which I soloed. They're from my drum kit. I'll link it below. The 808 one, the Studio Brutal 808 one. But yeah, so what you do once you've set it up, I want to process this with these. I want to change it to being not a simpler, but to being the new drum sampler, because it's got these effects, these like ring mod and stuff, and we're going to use the sequencer to modulate them so it gets all nasty and alien like. So you set up the beat like this, and you right click on this bar here. I don't know if you've done this before, the top bar, and you can then turn this. It's standard. The drum rack has a simpler in it as standard, but then you go through each one and you can click on simpler to sampler, and it will turn this into the whole instrument will change, but it'll keep the same sample into a sampler. Or you can right click on it and go to a drum sampler, and you want to do that for every single for all of them, all 4 of them, and then they'll be in this drum sampler. And the reason I like the drum sampler is, first of all, it's real simple, but also you have these effects things here. Okay, there's like stretch, and the beautiful thing about it is then you can set it down here so the effects are controlled by velocity, which means you can then sequence the effects, so you can like make it do all this movement on the step sequencer by going to this pane here and drawing in modulation. You can hear it there. It's changing. I don't know if you can hear that. It's quite low volume, but yeah. So you can then now sequence this effect, so you can get nuts. And I'm going to show you how I've done it. I'm going to go to the example now. So yeah, so convert them all, make a little 808 beat on a drum rack, and then convert them all to drum sampler off the bat. And yeah, if you're looking for electro patterns, I mean, obviously you can copy this, but I'll link to I've got a list of different like 808 patterns and stuff from famous like Drexciya tracks and stuff like that. I'll link that below as well. So yeah, I'll play this one now. So basically what I've done here is you can see they're all I'll just mute that because I put an effect send in. So yeah, so what I've done is I've left the kick as it is. Kick sounds like that, just the same as it did on the original, but I've then I've then tweaked the snare, so it doesn't even sound like an 808 snare anymore. I've made it with a resonant filter, and I've set this so velocity controls the filter actually, so you're getting like this sort of acid tweaking filter effect by going to velocity here, and this row here on the that's the chance, that's where the drums hit. But if I go to this velocity window here, I can now sequence the filter, like the acid filter, on the snare, and I've cut it short as well. I think with IDM, sort of glitchy electro like this, you want short notes. And then this is the close tap, which sort of sounded like that originally, but I made it all glitchy by using this stretch thing. And then I've filtered it as well here, but I've set the mod down here to 100% and to effects too, so, which is this, the grain. So the grain like that is going to move based on the filter, based on the velocity here. And also what I've done is it should be like 16 notes like that, but I've made it 6. It doesn't really matter the length, just anything that's not 6 or anything that's not 16 or 8. So now it's like it's not running the length of the bar, it's looping weirdly, and you're going to get weird. It's going to change every bar, so it's going to be like more generative, if you know what I mean. It's what you do on a modular synth as well. You'd put weird little sequence lengths to make stuff sounding well, you know, more modular, I guess. You know what I mean. Then I've done the same with this. That is a nut sound. Remember it. Actually, that's the original sound, and I made it sound like that because it's sequencing here the ring mod frequency. Effects 2 is that, and it's going negative by 41%. So for every so it's just it's cutting it down basically. And also this again is a 10-note sequence, so it's like it's not going to restart on the bar. It's running weirdly, and you're going to get these weird effects that aren't the same every bar, basically. So that's the processing, and that's how you use velocity to tweak these effects on the drum sampler, which is awesome in its own right. But then also what I've done is I've added in loads of notes. So I've added in loads of small notes here. So that means the snare, on the original beat, the snare was just here on the 2 and 4. But then on this one, I've added in loads of like low probability low notes, so you're going to get loads of extra snares. Same for everything else, especially the kicks. So the same hits are going to hit, but there's loads of other ones that might just randomly pop in. And I've added these rolls. There's a roll thing here, which will repeat notes, and I've done them here. Add them like that. But yeah, so there's a couple of subtle rolls in there. You can just do it to taste, basically. It's good to get the beat up and running and then tweak this. So yeah, that is it regarding the sequencer. There's loads of extra notes by chance, and the velocity is sequencing these effects here. And then one more thing, I've added a effect send, which sounds like this. So it gives like this alien sort of mad sound in the background, but basically it's just, I don't know if you know how you set up on a drum rack. You have to click this small button here, R, and you can drop any effect in here, and then you get like a send on the drum rack, and you can set the send here. It's not like a global send. It's in the drum rack. If you haven't used drum rack much, that's how you do it basically. Download the file anyway, and you'll see how I've done it. But so yeah, you can set up the effects here, and this is the effects chain. It is an echo unit, which is just adding a load of space, feedback, and reverb, a long reverb, long decay, and ping pong delays, so it's like wide. And then I'm adding in 2 beat repeats, so it will take the reverb and repeat it, and it's going to sound weird. Like that, and it's got a pitch. So every repeat is a bit lower, so it's got these pitch decays on it, this pitch modulation, and then I've done another beat repeat on a different time. So you're just getting these nuts alien landscape sort of sound in the background. And so if I put them all in together, that's what it sounds like. Probably pretty much more subtle. Probably as well. The snares got lost a bit. If I really was gonna make this into a track, I'd probably put the old snare back in. But yeah, but that's it basically. That's how I've gone from this beat to that. And it's real simple. You just basically convert everything to the new drum sampler, set up the effects so they sound glitchy and weird, and then modulate them with velocity, change the lengths up, change the probabilities, get it all weird, and then on the chants as well, add in more drum hits, but loads of them at low probabilities, so they just cut in, and then add a weird effects chain. And yeah, that is it. So yeah, that's it from me. I hope you found this useful. I didn't make a full track, I didn't add in a bass line or stab or a pad. I just wanted to show you like what 4808 basic samples could be made to sound like. I probably will make another track on this. I really like the new sequencers, they're awesome. I'll probably be doing loads of videos with them. But yeah, that's it. So yeah, if you want this file, just go and get it in the description, and yeah, please give us a like as well when you're there. It definitely just helps out the channel, gets it to more people basically. So yeah, that's it from me. If you have any more questions or like requests or anything like that for future loops and ideas, yeah, just please let me know in the comment section. And yeah, that's it from me. Have a good day and good luck with your music making. Take care. Goodbye.